DJ. He used to be my
Oh,
DJ. Yes.
yeah.
I didn't know he was the person that was at the. I had just found it out
Really?
that he was the person over there at his last position.
Yeah.
And what happened is, I was like, I got to call and see if that's him. And then before I found out it was him, then he wasn't there anymore. So what happened is I was like, oh my God. Then when I saw you on the phone on Facebook, I was like, get out of here. It just messed me up all the way
Syracuse is very
around.
small.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Oh.
used to be 6 degrees of separation. Now it's 3 degrees of separation.
No,
Yeah.
tomorrow. Of course. Thanks.
Congratulations. Oh my gosh. I was like,
Boy,
I just loved it.
Just,
It was beautiful.
all of
did
my
you
search
see the wedding
for
photos?
data analytics.
Yes, wedding photos
Yeah,
of,
yeah.
what, not
For
all
data
of them, but I
analytics.
see somebody
So-
post
Oh, okay.
the wedding. They were at
So
the
now I
wedding.
have my
Yeah.
And I cannot
dinner
believe
today.
it. I was like so
and
happy
my data analytics
for-
all
Thank you.
completed.
for both of you, rather.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I really was.
Tisha got called to New York, got sent to New York City by work. Joey's family is sick, and so is his babysitter, and Josh, friend's coming.
I was sick too, all for the last week, and I finally
Really?
went out today and went to a funeral service today for a minute.
There's a bunch of stuff out there.
Yeah, you see when they fill them skies up with all of them daggone chemtrail lines, you know you're gonna get sick.
Well, you should do like my grandmother used to do. Every September, I take a teaspoon of cod liver oil and baking soda, and I never get sick. 1 teaspoon of cod liver oil and baking soda.
You gotta.
What's the first thing?
Huh?
What's
Cod
the
liver
first
oil.
thing you
Oh,
meant?
cod liver oil.
Oh, okay.
I used to take the tablets every year,
No,
but
you
I didn't
can't take
get
the tablet, you gotta
sinuses.
take
Yeah, the
you gotta
real
take
stuff.
the real stuff. Once you take that, nothing will come near you.
And castor oil we used to take too.
Huh?
Did you grow up on cod liver oil?
There's 13 of us, so
Oh, wow.
every September, all 13 of us had that dose. And
That's great.
yeah. The castor oil was not bad.
What, are you crazy?
Oh no, you know what I'm thinking about? The brown stuff.
MD 666 or whatever that was.
Yeah.
That wasn't bad.
Yeah.
They don't
cod
sell
liver
it no
oil and
more though.
Castor oil is
Terrible. Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know what? You can get the pills. When I used to take the pills, I didn't get sinus or anything. But with all the stuff they got in the airways, I don't know what could stop that. Is from the stuff, I don't know what could stop that. Yeah.
that stuff you taste for a week afterwards.
Yes, indeed. Burping it and yeah.
Yeah. But keeps you well.
Well, I'm going to go back to it. I take stuff daily, but I'm going to have to go back to something.
We didn't pay the light bill up there or something?
There's no getting out of it.
So they didn't pay the light bill back here?
I guess not. I'm not really sure how that works, so I thought it was a nice holiday atmosphere.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're gonna get started because I don't see a whole lot of people coming tonight because the
Linda said
weather's
she
bad.
was coming, but she got off
Linda
work.
doesn't get out of work until later,
Yeah.
right? And Brenna's coming. I mean, we can wait a few more minutes. That's fine too.
What they go bring?
No cookies, no cake, no cupcakes, no.
Christmas threw up in here, huh? Yeah.
With its ambient lighting as well, apparently.
They only paid the bill for up front, not back.
Yeah, who knows, right? I came in and I thought, this is different. Yeah, I know.
Hi, Brett. How are you?
Was it?
Was your turkey?
He was great. How about yours? How was your Toronto turkey or Montreal turkey?
Who did it?
We didn't go. No, things just didn't work out. So, but So I'm planning my two big ventures, going to Greece and going to,
And you know, it's
I
unfortunate.
just want to say
but we
Poconos.
have terminals. I mean,
No,
good and bad
going to,
terminals, but when you've got
Jamaica,
a good
Bahamas.
no, farther away.
Mexico.
No, farther away.
person, I'm
Hawaii.
sure he's ready to go.
No, starts with P.
Punta Cana.
Nope. Portugal. Why can't I always have a tough time
I
remembering
see
Portugal.
why you can't think of it. It sounds so boring.
Yeah. Oh no, Portugal is great. Everybody's talking about going. So, yeah.
I always thought Portugal, you know, this is just gonna really make me sound stupid, and I'm not, but I always thought Portugal was in South America.
Still?
They speak Portuguese.
And I got really confused when people were going to Europe and going to Portugal, but I caught on quickly, though.
Well, I tell you
You
what,
get confused with Puerto Rico.
Iceland Air,
Yeah.
Iceland Air always runs a special. 349. You have to spend one night in Iceland, either going or coming. And then wherever Iceland Air flies in Europe, you can fly. So if you fly from New York to Iceland, spend the night, and then fly from Iceland to wherever, and then back to the United States for 349. So they run that special about 3 times a year. So you get a chance to see Iceland, and then go to wherever you want to go.
That's great. Love it. Okay, so we're gonna start. Marty, thanks for coming. We're gonna try and get people out of here before the storm starts, if there is one. I'm not really sure how. They keep saying it's coming every day, but it hasn't. So, I can't remember if at the last meeting I had access to emails, correct? Well, I'll say it again.
Right after.
Okay, so I now have access to the administrator mailbox as well as the CRB mailbox. There's lots and lots of emails in there that I've been trying to go through and get rid of the ones that are really, you know, just like, that goes to everybody and keeping the rest. But when we get a new administrator, they're gonna be very busy going through all those emails. We have not had any complaints come in through the computer, which is a good thing. Because that was our biggest fear, was that we were missing some complaints that were coming in via the webpage, and that did not happen. So we did not missed any complaints that I'm aware of. I get the mail a couple of times a week. I know the last meeting, we had a person who had sent a letter. He is incarcerated in one of the state prisons, and he had sent a letter to the CRB asking for a complaint form, which I sent. Got that back this week, and it was actually a complaint against the sheriffs at the Justice Center. So I did make a copy and gave it to Ops and explained to them what was going on, and I did send him, I printed out the form for him for the complaint to the Justice Center Oversight Committee, and with a note that said that we don't have jurisdiction over the sheriffs, but this is the form and this is where to send it. So hopefully he'll get that and he'll get himself taken care of that way. Search continues for the administrator. We had one applicant who was an internal applicant, and I don't know if Joey's talked to you guys about him or not.
No.
But we're still also waiting for the Indeed applications to come in, as well as the NACOL and any other place that it's been put out there. I have a fear that we're not going to get a lot of applicants because comparably we don't pay that much. But we'll have to see how that goes. And sure.
When you say internal, do you mean like someone who's already a city employee?
Correct.
Not internal to the board.
No, internal to the city employment. I briefly looked at the resume, and I'm not sure. HR would not send it forward if the person didn't meet the minimum qualifications. So Because they said they were doing that with the Indeed things also, that they were going to vet the applicants and only send ones who are qualified on for review, which is nice. Because I don't know
Makes
that,
sense.
you know, they know a lot more about what different qualifications are and stuff like that. Don met with, you can
Joe
talk about
and
this.
HR, and was advised that the city wouldn't allow someone from the board to take on the temporary position. And then I guess Joey had talked with the attorney, and the attorney said that's totally left up to, since we're an independent, that we have the right to hire whoever we want to hire for that temporary position. When I talked with HR, they were a little concerned about having to pay benefits for that temporary employee. So we had gotten down to where we could do 28 hours a week, and then 28 hours a week, and not have to pay benefits. So that would have sort of alleviated some of the financial stress that they were talking about. So haven't heard anything back from HR on that. They were going to look into it on Friday after Joe and I met with them, and still haven't heard anything back from them.
Okay, I did briefly talk with Joey today, and he's reaching out to Margaret tomorrow. So hopefully you can start soon. That would be wonderful. The other positions will be waiting until there's an administrator, but I have the list of everyone who applied for them and the ones that were interviewed and how the interviews went from my perspective. So I will make sure that you guys have all that. Yes.
Have they been told that where we are and how this is?
The ones that I could get a hold of, yes. There were a couple I couldn't.
Is there a list of the positions that are open so we can at least put it out to some people in the community? If we
Yes.
maybe where do we get that list?
There is, the list should be on the city webpage, but I will send you an email with everything that's
Okay.
in there, and then they can go look and see
Positions.
and get the
That's of the
ins and
position.
outs of what the
Okay.
positions are. I can send you the titles.
Okay.
And,
And then a couple people that I spoke with about the administrative position were saying they were having a tough time finding it on Indeed. So I don't know how it's listed on Indeed.
I just went through the City of Syracuse webpage. There's a place on the Syracuse webpage where it says "Work for Us," and if you click on that, there is a link to City of Syracuse positions that are posted on Indeed. So it would be all the city positions that are
Okay.
posted at this point. But I know I've seen it, so I know it's there. It might be a little wonky getting to it, but. I spoke with, via email, the person from Axon, which is the body-worn camera company that provides the service that holds the body-worn camera footage on the cloud, which is where, Renette had been very concerned because she was running out of room in her email accounts to continue to download all the information that she was getting from the Office of Professional Standards. And we had talked about, and actually the council had approved $15,000 for us to get our own Axon account. At this point, we're working with the police department to become users on their account rather than buying a whole new account. But obviously, I don't want, and I'm sure the police department doesn't want the CRB to have access unfettered. So we're working out how to do that. And the Axon guy is going to hook me up with the guy from SPD that he deals with. And everything is, complicated, I guess. But that's where we are with that. And that would be really helpful if we don't have to clog up databases with stuff that you look at once and then don't. So, and Lexapro, I spoke with them today. Basically, they said that they were the ones that we had the grant proposal through. And I said that at this point, we did not have an administrator. It was set to renew in January. So I asked if they could hold off on that, and that the board would review that at a later date. There doesn't seem to be a point to pay for something that we're not going to use right now anyway, because you pay by the year, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to apply for it, to pay for it now and not use it for 4 months or 3 months or whatever it is.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
During our last meeting, didn't we decide that we were not going to go with them since they hadn't?
Well, yeah, I told them we were not going
Oh,
with them,
okay.
but I also
Okay.
didn't want to just cut them out completely and just said that, never know, maybe the next group would like to do it,
Right.
So that's where we are with that. The other thing that I got was Sherelle, when she was still with us, had applied for a grant through Central New York Community Foundation, and it was a $30,000 grant. So Sherelle had called me a few weeks, like late October, early November, to say that they wanted to talk to us. So Sherelle stayed on the call just in case there were questions that I didn't know the answers to because she had put in for the grant. It was a really good conversation. I was feeling really positive. It was for community engagement money. And then I got a call from the woman who said, I see that you don't have any staff. This is probably not the best time to give you a $30,000 grant. So I will read you the email she sent me yesterday, which was, thank you for submitting a grant application to the Central New York Community Foundation. While you will be able to see your application status on the online portal soon, I wanted to let you know as soon as possible that we are unable to provide the support you requested at this time. We commend you on your organization's work in our community and would like to continue to speak with you about finding a way for us to help support that work. I would be more than happy to discuss the details with you and ways in which you may be able to reapply in future rounds. Please feel free to email or call me at your convenience to discuss. So that was a very nice letter. I don't know if it's a form letter or,
That's encouraging.
but yeah. So hopefully at some point we can tap into some money from them. Also, the deputy mayor had suggested at some point talking with the Gifford Foundation about getting some money from them. So she was going to reach out to them at some point. And that's really all I have. Unless other people
The case that we had to get out for December.
couldn't find any that we voted to a hearing that we have not held a hearing on, except for the ones that we had planned on that the attorneys could not do that day. So, correct. Of this month that they set aside for us.
So how does that stand?
We need to look at other dates, which I would prefer to do not in public meeting.
Okay, that's fine. Just wanted to throw the question out there in case I
Gotcha.
forget.
No, I get it.
Now, is it gonna cause a conflict if we move that date with the case?
For,
The case. I thought we had to have that case done by that Thursday.
I think it was,
Dates that were-
I think it was it has to be done by the end of the month.
Okay.
I don't think it was that
So you think we're
particular.
gonna have another decided date in December?
I don't necessarily feel that way. But Ryan had also said that the part about the administrator having to make a recommendation was also problematic for them. So I'm not sure what. I believe that case had been voted on prior to not having an administrator, because we haven't voted on any cases without an administrator's recommendation. So moving forward, hopefully that won't be an issue. I think that was it for me. Anybody else? You're welcome. It's been kind of fun sometimes. Other times, not so much. Does anybody have any public comment? Sure, just come up to the mic, please. People who are listening on YouTube can't hear unless you're in the microphone. So
Oh, okay. Mind if I move it down?
that one, yeah, you can move down. That's great. Hi.
I wanted to be considered for the temporary position for the Citizens Review Board. My name is Reginald Bradwell, and I felt that, how can I say? Okay, I feel like personal experience kind of outweighs in this position, and I looked at the criteria for this position, and I believe you need a bachelor's degree, right? And I don't believe so. I really don't think so, because I believe like life experience and things that happen in the public can only go certain ways, I should say. So what I'm trying to say is, I believe I do have the experience for the position, okay? And the reason why I feel like I believe that I have the experience for the position is because the Citizens Review Board, I believe, they're supposed to be the community's the defense between the police doing right and wrong, and they're supposed to weigh it, they're supposed to judge it based upon police statements, body cam footage, and sometimes the way the court outweighs the charges, and they basically either vacate them or, you know, you get charged and you're guilty or whatnot, how the court is, I mean, how the case is played out, however it goes. The person for the Citizens Review Board is supposed to let the community know where the police have done wrong and where they have harmed them. And the reason why I feel like I've got that experience is because, and it doesn't sound good, I'm gonna just tell you this now, but the key is to be honest, okay? I've been arrested over 80 times, okay, by Syracuse Police Department. I've been arrested 3 times within the last 2 years illegally. And I've went to the Citizens Review Board, and Renata was the woman that's supposed to have been investigating my thing. I was arrested illegally August 31st, 2022, for order protection that never existed with a person that never had an order protection against me, which I didn't understand how the police found in the computer system to begin with. Went in front of Judge Carr. Judge Carr dismissed it at arraignment. All right, I still don't understand why it took Renata this long to get back to me, but she still hasn't got back to me, and I understand why, because she's gone now, but it shouldn't have took 2 years to do that. All right, the reason why I bring that up, because 3 days later I was arrested again for another order of protection that didn't exist, and I went to jail again, and it bothered me. And the problem that I'm having is that I feel like life experience is something that should be part of the Citizens Review Board. I understand that a bachelor's degree and learning from a book and learning how to do paperwork and doing it the correct way, learning policy and procedure, I can learn policy and procedure. It doesn't take that long to learn a manual. That's not the problem. The problem is knowing how people act in real time, okay? Police are different people on the stand and in the district attorney's office and in a lawyer's office, in the courthouse. They're totally different people than what they actually are on that body cam, okay, or actually out at the scene, okay? Whichever way, I feel like I can do the position, okay? And I wouldn't need much to get it done. I wouldn't be asking for no unfettered access. I would have a plan. But my plan would basically just to be building up a database against the police. That's it. I would just build up a database against the police, and I would have police officers, you know, labeled, filed, good, bad, intermediate, certain cases, stuff like that, and other people cases that intertwine with it. Just like they built up the DNA database, I believe we should have a database on the police. And I've been arrested over 80 times by over 60 different officers. I believe I have a relationship with them. I have a relationship with Sergeant Brent Leonard at the, well, you know where he's from.
Yep.
I got a relationship with him. I got a relationship with Maureen Berry at the district attorney's office. I even know Darian Bailey across the hall. Okay, what I'm telling you is I have a relationship with people. And even the FOIA request lady, she seems to be nice. But like she's the barrier between people actually getting evidence and stuff like that from the courts. A lot of these things are sealed and locked up and you can't get to them. And we're supposed to be that in between. And that's the reason, even if it's just for a temporary slot, I just want an opportunity to showcase my skills, because I don't believe a bachelor's degree is the criteria when you have police in your face on a daily and they're different people when they stand in front of you. They're not
Can I ask you a
different.
question?
Well, go ahead.
I recall you from several places, but I know he ran for one of the positions a long time ago.
County legislator of the 16th
Yes.
district twice.
Are you talking about the temporary position or the administrative position? You know, there's a protocol. You can present this, but there's a protocol where you have to take as far as putting in your resume, et cetera. So that would be your first step if you haven't done that.
Understood, but like I've listened before, if you don't meet certain criteria, you don't make it past the first stage. And I don't want to sit over here and act like I want to go home, do all this fun work, and then turn around and get denied because I didn't make it past that certain criteria stage
I
of
think
having that degree.
my advice would be to call Human Resources and talk to Margaret, who is the assistant director. There are many times that experience can be substituted for education, and I don't know what those circumstances are, but the Human Resources Department would. And that would be, that way you could talk to them before you did all the work to submit.
I understand what's going to happen at Human Resources. I even applied at Human Resources for a garbage man job, and I didn't qualify for that for some reason. Okay, and I know the policy and procedure on that.
Well,
Bachelor's, you said, though,
Okay.
correct?
no, he does not.
Oh, he doesn't have
No.
the bachelor's.
I think unfortunately, though,
That's the reason I said experience should matter, due to the fact that they're going to cross-examine these officers. And a lot of people don't even know the first thing to do when it comes to these people. Like, my biggest issue right now, and I know it really don't matter to y'all, is how do you enforce a constitutional right in a court that won't let you enforce a constitutional right? All right? And a lot of people don't know that answer. All right? And I believe a person of the Citizens Review Board is supposed to defend one's rights and be able to defend all their rights at any stage, no matter if it's in criminal court, family court, whatever court. As long as that right or liberty has been broken, that person should be defended. Okay? And the problem is that most people don't know how to either enforce a right, bring up a right, or even get a judge to either listen to or try to enforce. And that's the only thing I'm really trying to change in the community is the educational part.
Sir, I'm sorry, but you have exceeded the limited
Of course
time
I
for
did.
speech.
Of course I did. I know.
Yeah.
It's 5 minutes. If you would like to leave your phone number, I can have Joe call you, who is the person who is running the committee to hire the administrator. And you can talk to him. He's not here tonight. His family is all sick.
By all means, I'll leave whatever information you ask. All I'm saying is to actually be considered.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Down behind the system. It's a systematic thing, and you know it is. Everything has a system, and the reason the obstacles are coming in before you is because it's a system, and you know you have to work with that system in order to change things. So what you said is very important, and how you said it, we can't make all of those decisions, but I understand what you're saying, and you want to change those things, and that's a bleed in your heart.
What
and
I'm
you've
saying
been
is
trying to do that.
what I'm saying is that I can run for common council, I can run for county legislator of the 16th district, I can run for mayor, I can run for all of those positions, and they don't require a bachelor's degree. They don't.
No, you're right.
Okay,
I
but these
get
are the
it.
same people that are voting on a job that requires
Right.
the person you have a degree and you really don't need it. It
Systematic.
just seems like it's a job that's been stepped out of the way of the real community and been given to a person that's going to follow whatever policy is going on with whatever mayor or county executive is in power. Because that's what degrees get you. They get you dead, they get you locked in, and then you have to make magic happen along the way. And when you do that, you usually follow policy and procedure to the T. You do. And no matter whose policy and procedure, it could be changed. Like we know, legislation and administrations change all the time.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you so much. Marty, did you want to say anything? You don't have to if you don't want to.
Well, I feel as a citizen tonight, not as a common counselor, is to get a review, get an understanding what the CRB is, and an understanding of this gentleman's concerns. And what we need is maybe more dialogue between the dialogue and members of the Common Council, myself, to create a better dialogue and understanding. Why is there a backlog? Why sometimes some of the members who are on the board are not here for whatever other issues, though. I want to go forward this. I do not want to see any misunderstanding with the Citizens Review Board. I know some people, and I don't mean to go off subject, but people who live in apartments and they get harassed and threatened by other people who are tenants in these apartments. And they do call the police. And sometimes when there's a backlog, how can we make it a priority? How can we make this a priority when some are assaulted or when a gentleman like here feels victimized by a police officer? Why is there like a delay at times when we have this issue? A delay, why do we have a backlog here? Do we have a delay of taking this to court? So these are things that have to be asked, but I really would like to know of more people why they don't feel a sense of trust, whether it's with the police, whether it's Citizens Review Board, or if it's with the court system. I mean, I like to have a discussion. I think these are valid points, though, and these are valid, and we should discuss this. And I'm learning this, and I'm glad to see that you have people here. I'm somewhat disappointed. I thought maybe more people will come. So we have a lot more that has to be discussed. Whoever the next CRB administrator is, and I hope things can be worked out well, because this is important, though. People can have their private opinions, but I would like to see progress made. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
A motion to adjourn into executive session?
A second? Oh, I make the motion to adjourn to executive session?
Favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll go downstairs for a minute and talk about that case.
Are we going in the back? At all?
I mean, we
Okay.
could.
Oh, where we normally go, correct?
Yeah, I mean, that's
Okay.
fine. I just.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Both.
We appreciate it.
Thank you. Yep, we can I'll take it for you.
Good to see you.
That way I can,
Thanks so much. Absolutely.
how you been? Oh, Jesus. Okay, give me a number, Rachel. You should start the process.
I want to see it lit up
on
at
what
night,
it
too.
is that you're trying to do. Start the process when it comes to, I know, everything is systematic. Everything has a system that it has to run through.
We have all. We have fish, cats, and dogs. So.
Oh, well, I know. Oh, yeah. Excuse me, Reg. No, come back.
I hope, no. I'm just going to, well, thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, I'm glad to come. Yeah, it's been a long day. I just want to make sure Olivier was here,